Punatic Radio presents Shadow over Puna. What lay beneath the lava? Episode 3. The Misadventures of Frank. Sits at the edge of something people don't like to talk about, not out loud, not directly. In Puna, stealing a car isn't always about the car, it's about what it turns into. Meth, ice, batu, crystal runs through this place like groundwater, quiet, constant, always finding a way up. You don't see it at first, you see the side effects. Missing tools, stripped houses, burned out frames on the side of the road like skeletons nobody claimed. A truck gets taken. Driven hard, emptied, then traded, not for money, for something quicker, something that don't last. That's the cycle. Steal it, use it, trade it, burn it, repeat. Everybody knows it. Nobody says it like that, because once you say it, you gotta admit how normal it's become. Frank Ibicos walks the town, eyes scanning fast. The graffiti shows up where you're not supposed to look too long, side of a building. Half covered by an old sign, paint bleeding through layers that tried to erase it. Aole PGV, the letters aren't clean, Aole. Not just no, stronger than that. Refusal, denial. A line drawn PGV under it, sloppier, like it didn't deserve the same care around it. Odor tags, faded red lines, symbols half erased, circles, eyes, spirals that don't quite close. Easy to miss if you're not looking for it. The paint smells new, but the wall feels older. Frank clocks a parking lot. Old Toyota lifted four-wheel drive. Good condition, too good. Frank smiles, shoots, he mutters, we upgrading. Frank Ibicos. If there's a bad decision, he don't avoid it. He accelerates into it. He's at the door in seconds, lock pick out, quick, clean, click, door opens, no alarm, no noise. Easy. Frank grins, sliding into the driver's seat. Too easy. Dale standing outside, watching. Doesn't stop him. Doesn't help him. Just watching. Frank leans down, wires exposed. Okay, we good. He twists, nothing. Tries again, more force, still nothing. The engine doesn't cough, doesn't struggle, doesn't even try. Frank frowns. Das weird. He pauses, looks at the dashboard. Clean, too clean. Keys inside somewhere, he mutters. Dale finally speaks. You don't know that truck. Frank waves him off. I know trucks. He tries again. Nothing. Silence. Then footsteps. Frank freezes just for a second. He slides out of the truck like nothing happened. Door shuts. Truck was unlocked, he says casually, like explaining it to himself. I was just checking. Dale looks at him, doesn't blink. You were trying to take. Frank shrugs, borrow. Dale doesn't argue, doesn't need to. The sun beats down. Let's go, Frank says, I stay hungry. They continue their way up the winding road to Paul's Repair. walls don't pretend to be anything. That's why people trust it. Metal siding, sun-faded signs, gas pumps older than half the town. The kind of place where things either get fixed or they don't. No in-between, no stories, no philosophy, just parts and consequences. NNP Mart sits right next to it. Same building, really. Soda, candy, heat lamp chicken that's been there longer than it should. This is where people stop before they go somewhere they might not come back from.
They head inside. Cool air hits. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. The counter is framed by addiction of every kind: sweets, cigarettes, condoms, and all manner of performance enhancers. The guy behind the counter looks up once, then back down. Frank steps up like the last 5 minutes didn't happen. Hey, I need one key cut. The guy doesn't move. Registration? Frank pauses. Too long. Lost it. Frank says, but I get. The guy finally looks up, slow. No. Frank leans in. Come on, brah, I pay extra. No paperwork, no key. It's my cousin's. Frank says, scrambling now, stitching something together mid-air. He just not good with paperwork, yeah? I'm just helping him out. I'm sure. The cashier says, flat, dead. Frank nods like that helped. How about, he says, lowering his voice, I give you premium kind. He taps his pocket. No shake, no cut, straight Puna glass. Silence. The cashier looks up, really looks this time. You serious right now? Frank smiles. Wrong move. Just saying, help each other out. Get out. Louder now. Frank freezes. Brah. Out. The word cracks. Heads turn. Nobody says anything, but everybody watching now. Frank taps the counter lightly, like they just closed a normal deal. We keep it aloha, yeah? The cashier doesn't respond, doesn't have to. Frank backs off slow. Turns. Dale already by the door watching. Not surprised. Not even a little. Outside, heat hits harder. Frank exhales. Fucking guy. Dale stands beside him, quiet. You lost your keys? Dale asks. Frank shrugs. Nah. Dale nods once, like that's what he expected. They stand there, truck still sitting where it was, untouched. Frank motions, walking away. I like, get one beer. Dale follows, behind them. Pauls keeps going, like nothing happened. But something did. The eyes are now watching. The lava shack don't pretend, but this time of day, you don't have to try as hard. It's quieter. Not empty, just in between. The kind of quiet that ain't peaceful, just waiting. Sunlight cuts in sideways through the open walls, too bright, too honest, shows everything. Sticky floors not hiding nothing. Beer rings dried into the wood. Burn marks clear as scars. The smell hits softer now, but worse somehow. Old beer, warm metal, sour sweetness, like the place sweating slow. A few people inside, not a crowd, not yet. One guy at the bar already too drunk for the hour. Two workers in dusty boots not talking. One biker half asleep in space, too much space at night. This place eats people right now, it just watches them behind the bar. JR. Same as always, leathery skin, bloodshot eyes, tank top stained permanent, moving slow, but awake. More awake than anyone else in the room. Daytime don't make him safer, just more patient. But nothing in the room moves without him noticing. Every door open, every bottle lifted, every voice that gets just a little too loud, he tracks it. Not like a bartender, like something guarding territory. Bat under the counter, spray in his pocket, gun somewhere you don't see, but you feel. JR, don't run the lava shack. He is the lava shack, and right now, he's watching them. Not curious, not welcoming, measuring like he already decided how much trouble they're worth. And that's when the door space shifts. Frank Ebicos walks in first, like always. Too fast, too loud, too sure of himself. Energy wrong for the room, daytime lava shack don't like that. Frank don't notice, shoots, he mutters, scanning. Dead in here, not dead, quiet. Different. Dale steps in behind him, no sound, no announcement. JR notices that first, eyes lock on Dale, not Frank. Frank already at the bar, slapping money down, a beer. JR doesn't move right away, then slow, he reaches down, grabs a bottle, sets it on the counter, 4. Frank already cracking it open, shoots. Dale doesn't sit, doesn't lean, just stands, watching the room like he's listening for something nobody else can hear. Frank takes a long pull, too early in the day for that kind drink, but he don't care. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, leans in, he says, nodding at JR, you know one guy, PGV, the sweater guy. JR doesn't respond. Frank keeps going, long sleeve, button up, sometimes tie, like he in office, but he's standing in lava zone. A pause. The kind Doc Yamato. JR finally looks at him, slow. Yamada? Frank points at him. Same guy. No. JR says flat. Not same name. Frank shrugs. Same sweater. JR shrugs. Come through sometimes. When last? JR thinks or pretends to couple weeks. That lands. Frank leans in. Who he hang with? JR shrugs again. Depends what he's looking for. That answer don't help. Frank nods anyway. Like it did. The door space shifts again. Walker steps in. No pause, no hesitation. She doesn't look back, doesn't check, doesn't care who follows. Eyes already moving. Counting exits. Reading the room, who's drunk, who's dangerous, who's both. Kaylee stops at the threshold, right where the light changes. She looks in, takes one step, stops. No. She leans back out immediately. Nope, absolutely not inside. Walker is already halfway to the bar. Didn't hear her, didn't care. Kaylee watches her go. Okay, cool, she mutters. Just abandon me in the murder bar, that's fine. Nobody responds. Kaylee stays outside. Far enough from the door to feel safe. Close enough to see everything she doesn't want to be part of. Walker steps up to the bar, doesn't ease into it, doesn't pretend she's ordering. You've heard the rumors about PGV? She asks. JR snorts. Which ones? Walker doesn't blink. The ones about tremors, gas releases, people getting sick, workers disappearing.
JR leans back, slow. That all one rumor to you? He says. It's a pattern, Walker replies. JR smirks. Everything a pattern if you stare long enough. Frank nods like that helped. Yeah, see? Even JR know. Nobody asked Frank. Walker keeps her eyes on JR. Have you heard anything specific from workers? JR taps ash into a cracked tray. They come and drink, complain. About what? New well, he says. Old well, same thing, who wants to know? Walker doesn't flinch. I do. JR leans forward. That's supposed to mean something.
Walker meets his eyes. It means I know what this place has already survived. HGPA, she says, 1976, first well, over 6,000 feet, 676 degrees. JR doesn't move. Walker keeps going. Experimental plant in 81, small output, big problems, noise, gas, releases, blowouts. She tilts her head slightly. They shut it down in 89 for a reason. A couple heads turn now. Walker doesn't slow. Then PGV comes in, same ground, same system, same mistakes. She taps the bar lightly. KS7, KS8, early failures, casing problems. JR's smirk fades just a little. June 12th, 1991, Walker says. KS8 blowout, 31 hours uncontrolled. The room quiets more. Hydrogen sulfide release evacuations, Laney, Puna cleared out. She leans in, just enough. That wasn't geology failing. That was drilling procedure. JR watches her now, not amused. Walker continues. 2005, they punched into a magma chamber. Frank blinks, like actual lava. Walker doesn't look at him. Yes. 8,000 feet down, she says. Not supposed to happen. She lets that sit. 2014, Isel hits emergency shutdown, gas release again. 2016, EPA finds chemical safety violations. 2018, lava takes the site anyway. Wells buried, infrastructure gone. JR exhales slow. Walker thinks back on what JR said. So when you say new well, Walker says, you mean exploratory, right? JR tilts his head. Not new, he says. New old. Walker pauses. What? JR shrugs. They're reopening an old one. Silence. Walker doesn't move. That doesn't make sense, she says. JR smirks. Yeah? Walker shakes her head slightly, more to herself than him. They capped those after 2018, she says. Some were compromised, some were buried. JR flicks ash. Workers say they're reopening. Walker stares at him now, fully. That's not approved, she says. That would require new structural assessments, new environmental. JR cuts her off. I don't do paperwork, Doc. I just hear what they say when they drunk. Walker processes that fast. The door shifts again. Ke Kumalu Keka walks in. Not rushed, not loud like he belonged. Couple heads nod. Hey, Kumalu? He nods back, easy. He clocks the room. J.R. Walker, Frank Dale. What I miss, he asks. Frank grins. Doc lady saying to ground talking. Kumalu nods. Yeah, ground always talking. Problem is who listening. J.R. snorts. Walker doesn't react across the room.
Tristan crouched by the wall outlet. Come on, he mutters, plugging in his phone. Nothing. He flips it, wiggles it, still nothing. No charge in a bar? That's crazy. Nobody answers him. Back at the bar, Walker speaks low but clear. He said PGV is reopening an old well. Kumalu looks at her. They're doing what? Walker exhales. But that can't be right, she says. Those wells were capped after 2018. Some were structurally compromised. JR flicks ash. Workers don't talk about structure, he says. They talk about how it feel. Kumalu tilts his head. How it feel. JR nods once. Wrong. Silence. Walker leans in. Wrong. How? JR hesitates. They say heat not staying where it's supposed to, he says. Pressure moving strange. Walker nods slowly. Migration, she mutters, pathways shifting. She's already thinking ahead. If the system's destabilizing, she says, then reopening a sealed well could redirect flow, force pressure into new channels. Kumalu clicks his teeth, or lets something out, he says. Walker doesn't answer that, because that part isn't in the data.
Kumalu leans back from the bar, eyes drift, find Frank, already up to something, of course. Frank halfway behind the counter, not even hiding it good. Hey, Kumalu says, not even looking at him. You like die for one Bud Light? Frank grins, not die. Struggle, maybe. He moves fast, icebox open. Hand in, bottle halfway out. Hey! JR's voice cracks the room, everything stops. Frank freezes, slowly turns. I was gonna pay. JR doesn't blink, he was gonna steal. Kumalu steps in, trying to smooth it. Hey bro, he just joking. Frank nods fast, yeah, comedy. JR points, put it back. Frank does, careful, too careful. Then Kumalu grabs a different one, cracks it open. Silence. Frank stares at him. Brah. Kumalu takes a sip, now I'm drinking. JR's face changes, not loud, not explosive, worse, flat. You too done? Kumalu nods like he expected that. Yeah, we done. Frank tries to recover. We can still. JR reaches under the bar, metal sound. Revolver comes up, not shaking, not rushed out. No yelling, just final. Frank's hands already up. Okay, no problem. Love the vibe, great establishment. Kumalu already moving, shoots, he says, finishing the beer in one go. He sets the empty on the counter, on my tab. JR doesn't respond, doesn't need to. They back out, slow. Frank trips slightly on the door frame, recovers. Pretends it was intentional. Frank exhales. Worth it. Inside, everything goes quiet for a second, then Walker exhales. She pinches the bridge of her nose, unbelievable. Not loud, not angry, worse, disappointed. Across the room, Tristan slowly lowers his dead phone. That was insane, he says, but also kinda iconic. Dale, still in the corner watching, not surprised, not impressed, just observing. They don't know how to stay still, he says quietly. Nobody asks who he means because it's obvious.
outside.
Kaylee sees them come out. Immediate reaction. Phone up. "Oh my God, what happened?" She says, "Already recording. Wait, did you guys just get kicked out?" Frank throws his hands up. Unfair business practice. Kumalu shrugs. JR no like share. Kaylee lights up. "This is amazing," she says. "Wait, stand there. No, like more pissed. Yeah, this is giving chaotic local energy." Walker steps outside behind them. "Put that phone down." Kaylee doesn't. Just one. This is content. Kaylee. Flat. That lands. Kaylee lowers it. Slow. "Fine," she mutters. Tristan steps out next. Looks between Frank and Kumalu. "Well, that was our best information node." Kumalu shrugs. "We got information." Walker looks at him. "We got more questions." Dale steps out last, looks back at the bar, then at Frank. "A lot of noise," he says. Frank grins. "Yeah." Dale nods once. They don't linger. Loknako already by the Suburban. Just down the road. Driver door open. Engine off. Waiting. He watches them walk up, counts them. "We good?" he asks. Walker nods. "For now. That's enough." Doors open, one by one. They pile in. Kumalu shotgun. Frank slides in behind him. Still muttering about the beer. "I almost had bruh?" "Yeah," Kumalu says. "You almost had one funeral too." Kaylee hesitates before getting in. "This is not the car I imagined dying in," she says. Nobody answers. She gets in anyway. Tristan climbs in last, still holding the dead phone like it personally betrayed him. "I just need one outlet," he mutters. Walker leans forward slightly. "Can we stop at Ace?" she says. Loke glances at her. "Why?" "If they're reopening unstable wells," she says. "We're not walking in blind." Flashlights, tools, anything we can get fast. Frank perks up. "They get snacks?" Dale reaches into his pocket, pulls out a banana. No explanation, just holds it out. Frank stares. "Where you even get that?" Dale doesn't answer. Frank takes it anyway. "Mahalo," he says, already peeling it. Kumalu glances back. "Brah, you trust mystery banana?" Frank takes a bite. "Yeah, solid." Tristan leans forward from the back. "Urgent now." "Okay, Ace priority 1, he says. "I need a car charger immediately." Nobody responds. "I'm serious," Tristan insists. "My phone is dead. I need to document this." Loke nods once. "All right, 5 minutes," he says. "In and out." Frank finishes the banana. "You get more?" he asks Dale. Dale doesn't answer. Just reaches into his pocket and pulls out another banana. Holds it out. Frank blinks. "Brah." Kumalu turns halfway in his seat. "Why you get infinite banana supply?" Dale shrugs, prepared. Frank takes it, no hesitation. "Respect," he says, peeling it immediately. The Suburban rolls forward, Ace Hardware coming up. Ace Hardware, too bright, too clean, too normal. Fluorescent lights hum like nothing in the world is wrong. The SUV doors open. Walker, Tristan, Kaylee, Kumalu step out. Frank stays in the SUV. Seat lean back. "I hold down to Ford," he says. Dale sits beside him, already peeling another banana. No comment. split immediately. Tristan beelines. Charger, he mutters. Charger, charger, charger. Finds it, grabs it. Doesn't even look at the price. We live again. Kaylee drifts, then locks in boots. Okay, wait, these are kinda hard. Gloves. Yes, survival, but make it fashion. Then gas mask, full face, she lifts it. This is insane. Puts it on halfway, checks her reflection in a metal shelf. Mad Max chic. Walker ignores her, already moving with purpose. Flashlight, first aid kit, a quick scan, then goggles, practical, fast. Kumalu stands at the tool rack, crowbars. He picks one up, tests the weight. Solid, he says, then puts it back, moves down. Lockpicks, smaller, quieter, better, he mutters. Grabs a set at the counter. Tristan already there. Kaylee dumps her pile. Boots, gloves, still wearing the mask halfway. Do I look insane or iconic? Walker doesn't look. Take it off. Kaylee pauses. Rude, but takes it off. Kumalu drops the lockpicks. That's all I need, he says. Quick, clean, they pay. No small talk, no delay. Outside, the airfield heavier. They load back into the Suburban. Frank looks up. What you guys get? Kaylee lifts the mask. Look, Frank nods. Cherry bra. Tristan plugs into the car, charging. Finally, we operational. Walker leans forward, drive. Lope doesn't ask twice. Engine turns, Ace fades behind them. Last place that felt normal. Ahead, road, jungle, PGV.